Tell us a bit about your background. I mean, obviously, most people in the racing and breeding industry know that you started as a trainer, as far as a lot of people know, in Adelaide. Now you're based here at Pakenham in Victoria. But, you go back a long time in the industry before that, don't you?
Yeah, we do. So basically, as a kid growing up, my dad managed the big cattle stations up north on the Birdsville track, and I grew up there with my brothers just doing School of the Air. My mum had to teach us on the radio, and I used to go out on stock camps, and that's how I got my feeling, with the horses, and rode in gymkhanas and all those sort of things. And then at the age of 15, I became an apprentice jockey with John Hall. I got heavy very quickly. Went up to Alice Springs with Viv Oldfield, and I finished my apprenticeship up there 2 years. That was really good fun, and we moved on from there.
Spent time overseas, Japan, Kentucky. Tell us a bit about some of that and the influence it's had on you now.
A good friend of mine, John Woods, got me a job in Japan, working for Taiki Farm, which were a pretty big operation at the time. So I spent 10 years there all up, and I was very lucky to meet my lovely wife Ayumi, and my oldest boy Tommy was born in Japan. And it's just amazing to see how you knew they were going to be great, the way they were doing everything with their facilities, the best mares and stallions. And we were very lucky to look after a horse called Taiki Shuttle, who was the horse of the year there. And while I was in Japan, I got to travel around a bit, and I spent some time in France with John Hammond. Did another short stint in America, in Kentucky. Worked at Belmont Park with Bill Mott, and that was another eye-opener, and all those little things sort of help forge our career and different ideas.
And then Adelaide, of course, the time that you were there, you had so much success, as a leading trainer in South Australia. It's changed a lot, hasn't it, in SA? But your period of time there, you had so many good horses that you were training. We
started with nothing. We owned our stables, but we had no horses. So I was riding work for Joe Hall and just doing breaking in and whatever we could to get by, and slowly we built it up. I was working on our strike rate, and we had a good strike rate, and then John Massara come along, and he helped us a lot, gave us good horses, and just got bigger and bigger, and we ended up winning 3 premierships, which was fantastic, and a lot of the feature races, and a great place to live. We had great times there, but we couldn't do much more there, and we'd had very good success in Victoria, and I thought it was time to move.
Did you have an interest in the pedigrees? Is it part of what you were doing, or was it more you're happy to have a horse to train and the pedigree wasn't that interesting?
I was very happy to have a horse to train, but they were precocious horses. Like we won the Mercer & Cooper 2 years in a row with horses, and horses that I couldn't afford to buy basically. And I loved training them and sending them over to Melbourne, getting the black types. So it was really good times, and probably the first good horse we had taught me a lot too, was a horse called Squalani. He won 12 races for us, and he was my first runner at Flemington, and he won a stakes race. So I thought, we're off to a good start here.
Jamaica on the outside, Miss Gunpowder responding tremendously down on the inside.
You've had a lot of really good owners, through the years. A horse like Miss Gunpowder, for instance, the Duns got the racing bug through that. They're now in a horse you have called the Mansman, Brett Dixon, John McLean, Terry Henderson, OTI, and particularly in recent years, you've had horses such as Ahmad and others as well that have been doing well. How important is it for a trainer to get that support from owners?
Oh, big time. It's very important. So I was very lucky. We had Think Big Stud and Duncan joined us very early days in Adelaide actually, and they were happy to send the horses there, but they probably wanted them here in Melbourne, to be honest. So they were supporters very early on, and we had a good idea that won an Adelaide Cup, and he was great with Alan Jackson, and Adelaide owners were very happy to send him over here and support us, which I'm very grateful for, and we've had good success. Terry Henderson came on when I moved over here, which I'm very grateful for, and he's come out here numerous times and seen our facilities, and we've been able to keep horses like Dake Sweet Jr. and work forever, and he ran in 2 Melbourne Cups, a Maid, Geelong Cup winner, quirky horse, but he was still going till he was 12, and now we've got another exciting horse coming through called Deacon. So really important to get those sort of owners. Had to work hard and get out and be seen, but it's paying dividends.
You were the first trainer outside Bart to have any Think Big Stud horses for Dado Tan Shin Nam, and still to this day, you have All Woke racing in the famous Think Big Stud colours too.
We do, yeah. No, it was a great privilege. I was, very humbled. And we've still got a good association going. We've got nice young horses coming through. I probably should also mention Mr. Quickie, who was a dual Group 1 winner over here. He was a horse that was very important. He won a Queensland Derby for us in a Toorak. Very, very special horse too. Instant
Celebrity won a Sangster Stakes, 4 Group 1s. Since you've been here, Climbing Star, there are so many of them that have, there's more to come from the horses that you have at the moment that you're training from here. So